Am I the only one that didn't know a superstar's car could hide a tragedy? When you think of celebrities, you picture glitz, glamour, and maybe a little drama, but not something this dark. The story of what happened in D4vd's Tesla has left even the most seasoned crime reporters speechless. It's the kind of case that makes you question how well we really know the people we idolize, and how quickly a life in the spotlight can turn into a headline for all the wrong reasons. In a world obsessed with celebrity culture, we often forget that behind the curated Instagram feeds and red carpet appearances, there are real people with real lives, and sometimes real secrets. This case is a chilling reminder that fame can't shield anyone from tragedy, and that sometimes the most shocking stories are hiding in plain sight, just waiting to be uncovered. This story goes way deeper than headlines suggest. It's not just another celebrity scandal or a tragic accident, it's a chilling mystery that's left investigators, fans, and the public desperate for answers. The more you dig, the more questions you find. How did a missing teenager end up in the car of a global superstar? Was it a random coincidence, or is there a connection no one has uncovered yet? The case has gripped the nation, with every new detail sparking heated debates online and in the media. People are combing through every scrap of information, trying to piece together a puzzle that seems to get more complicated with every passing day. The uncertainty, the unanswered questions, and the sheer horror of the discovery have made this one of the most talked about mysteries in recent memory. Here's what we know so far. On September 8, 2025, at a busy tow yard in Hollywood, workers were going about their usual routine when they noticed a foul, unmistakable smell coming from a black Tesla Model Y. The car had been impounded a few days earlier, reportedly after being found abandoned on a side street, its windows tinted and doors locked. At first, no one thought much of it. Cars get towed in LA all the time. But this was different. The odor was so strong that it stopped workers in their tracks, and they immediately called the authorities. The tow yard, usually a place of mundane paperwork and routine inspections, suddenly became the center of a media storm. Within hours, police cars, news vans, and curious onlookers crowded the area, all desperate to find out what had happened inside that Tesla. The sense of unease was palpable, as if everyone knew that something truly terrible had just been uncovered. What police found inside was beyond belief, something straight out of a nightmare. The decomposed, dismembered remains of 15-year-old Celeste Rivas, a girl who had been missing since April 2024, were discovered in the back seat. The scene was so disturbing that even veteran officers reportedly needed a moment to collect themselves. For months, Celeste's family had been searching for her, holding out hope that she'd come home. No one could have imagined her story would end like this, in the back of a luxury car owned by a famous musician. The discovery sent shockwaves through the community. Vigils were held and social media was flooded with messages of grief and outrage. People demanded answers not just for Celeste's family but for everyone who felt the loss of a young life cut short in such a horrific way. The brutality of the crime, combined with the high-profile connection, made it impossible to look away. The car? Registered to none other than D4vd. Yes, that D4vd, the chart-topping singer known for his viral hits, sold-out world tour, and millions of fans. His music videos rack up views in the hundreds of millions, and his face is instantly recognizable to Gen Z and music lovers everywhere. The idea that his car could be linked to such a horrific crime sent shockwaves through the entertainment world. Suddenly, every move D4vd made was under a microscope, and every detail of his life was being picked apart by the media and the public. Overnight, D4vd's name was trending for all the wrong reasons. Fans who once idolized him were now questioning everything they thought they knew. The press camped outside his home, and every social media post was dissected for hidden meanings. The pressure was immense, and the scrutiny relentless, as the world tried to make sense of how a beloved artist could be connected to such a tragedy. Police were able to identify Celeste through forensic analysis and a distinctive tattoo on her finger, a small stylized "shh" inked along the side. It was a detail that immediately caught investigators' attention, because D4vd himself is known for having the exact same tattoo. The eerie similarity fueled wild speculation online. Was there a personal connection between Celeste and D4vd? Did she get the tattoo as a tribute, or was there something more sinister at play? The tattoo became a symbol of the mystery, with internet detectives poring over old photos, interviews, and social media posts, searching for any sign that Celeste and D4vd had ever crossed paths. Some claimed to have spotted her at his concerts, while others insisted it was all just a tragic coincidence. The truth, however, remained maddeningly out of reach. But here's the twist. The "shh" tattoo isn't unique. It was made famous years ago by Rihanna, and since then, it's become a pop culture phenomenon. Countless fans and celebrities have copied the design, making it nearly impossible to draw any direct connection based on the tattoo alone. Still, the coincidence was enough to keep the rumor mill spinning, with social media sleuths digging into every possible link between Celeste and D4vd. The internet was ablaze with theories, some more plausible than others. Was Celeste a superfan who wanted to emulate her idol? Or was there a deeper, more personal story behind the matching ink? The lack of concrete answers only fueled the speculation, turning the case into a viral sensation that dominated headlines and timelines for weeks. Despite the mounting speculation, police have stated clearly that D4vd is not a suspect. He's been fully cooperative with investigators from the start, providing alibis, access to his records, and even making a public statement expressing his heartbreak over the tragedy. But the damage to his reputation was immediate. The mystery surrounding the case, combined with the intense media scrutiny, has already rocked his career in ways that may be impossible to undo. Even as D4vd tried to clear his name, the court of public opinion was less forgiving. Rumors spread faster than facts, and every new development was met with skepticism. For many, the mere association with such a gruesome crime was enough to cast a permanent shadow over his legacy, regardless of the truth. Major brands like Crocs and Hollister, who had previously featured D4vd in high-profile campaigns, quickly distanced themselves. Within days, his posters were pulled from store windows, and his merchandise was quietly removed from shelves. The message was clear. In the court of public opinion, association with scandal, no matter how tenuous, can be career-ending. The speed with which these companies acted was a stark reminder of how fragile fame can be. One day, you're the face of a global brand. The next, you're a liability. For D4vd, the fallout was swift and brutal. As sponsorships dried up and opportunities vanished almost overnight, the fallout didn't stop there. Kaylee Uchis, a fellow artist and former collaborator, pulled their joint song from all streaming platforms. Fans noticed the track's sudden disappearance and took to social media to demand answers. For D4vd, it was another blow in a week filled with them, a stark reminder of how quickly the music industry can turn its back when controversy strikes. The music world, always quick to move on, seemed eager to distance itself from the scandal. Radio stations quietly dropped his songs from their playlists, and industry insiders whispered about canceled appearances and lost deals. The message was clear. In an industry built on image, even the hint of scandal can be devastating. Meanwhile, the investigation continues. Detectives are working around the clock, piecing together Celeste's final days and trying to determine how she ended up in D4vd's car. The exact cause of her death remains unknown, and police have been tight-lipped about potential suspects or motives. Every new detail is met with a fresh wave of speculation, but so far the case remains wide open. Law enforcement has urged the public to avoid jumping to conclusions, but in the age of social media, rumors spread like wildfire. Amateur sleuths have created entire forums dedicated to the case, analyzing every scrap of evidence and theorizing about possible suspects. The pressure on investigators is immense, as the world waits for answers that may never come. As the world waits for answers, one thing is certain. This tragedy has left fans and the entire music industry in shock. For Celeste's family, the pain is unimaginable. For D4vd, the shadow of suspicion may never fully lift, no matter what the investigation uncovers. And for everyone watching, it's a sobering reminder that fame and fortune can't protect anyone from the darkest corners of reality. The ripple effects of this case will be felt for years to come, as people grapple with the uncomfortable truth that sometimes the most glamorous lives are touched by the most unimaginable horrors. The story of Celeste Rivas is a heartbreaking cautionary tale, one that forces us all to confront the limits of our own understanding, and the dangers of making assumptions based on appearances alone. What do you think really happened to Celeste Rivas? Was it a tragic coincidence, or is there more to the story than meets the eye? Let us know your theories in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for updates as this story continues to unfold. We'll be following every twist and turn, bringing you the latest on this developing case. As new information comes to light, we'll be here to break it down, separate fact from fiction, and give you the full story, no matter how unsettling it may be. Stay tuned, and remember, sometimes the truth is stranger and darker than anything we could ever imagine.